listen, let the gentle rhythm of the story guide you to peace. Our story begins with a fox and a deer. The cunning fox and the gentle deer. Once upon a time, in a forest where the wind whispered through silver leaves and the sun painted the ground in warm, golden patches, lived many creatures in quiet harmony. Among them were two very different animals, Fellas, the fox, and Daria, the deer. Fellas was clever. No one could outwit her when it came to finding food or escaping danger. Her russet fur and sharp eyes made her nearly invisible in the forest twilight. She lived alone in a cozy den beneath a mossy hill, filled with trinkets and treasures she had gathered over time. Daria, on the other hand, was known not for cunning, but for kindness. With soft brown eyes and graceful steps, she roamed the woods with a heart as open as the meadow sky. She lived with her herd, but often wandered on her own, drawn by curiosity and compassion. Though they had seen each other from afar many times, Fellas and Daria had never truly spoken. One autumn morning, after a storm had passed through the forest, Daria heard a faint cry near the stream. Following the sound, she found a small bird, a robin with a broken wing. Without hesitation, she lowered her head and gently picked it up in her mouth. She searched for a safe place and soon remembered the hollow under the hill, the one near the fox's den. As she approached, Fellas emerged, her eyes wary. "What are you doing here, dear?" she asked, her voice smooth as river stones. "I need a warm place for this bird," Daria said softly. "It's hurt. I thought perhaps." Fellas tilted her head. "You thought I would help?" "No," Daria replied honestly. "I thought you might not mind." There was a pause, and then, to her surprise, Fellas stepped aside. "Leave it here. I'll watch it." Daria laid the bird down carefully, thanked the fox, and walked away. From that day on, they began to see more of each other. At first, they only exchanged nods, then words, then long, quiet conversations in the late afternoons as the sun dipped low. Daria would bring berries. Fellas would offer shade from the summer heat. They talked about the stars, about the wind, about things that mattered and things that didn't. Daria listened without judgment. Fellas spoke with a guarded tongue but a curious heart. Still, trust was a slow-growing tree. One chilly evening, news spread through the forest. Food was becoming scarce. The trees had shed their fruit early and smaller creatures had begun to vanish. Fear gripped the animals. Fellas, true to her nature, sadness, angry, she confronted Daria. Were you part of this? She snapped. Daria looked hurt. Of course not. I would never steal from a friend. Fellas turned away. I have no friends, only watchers and liars. Those words shattered the calm between them. Winter came, cloaking the forest in silence. Snow softened the edges of every branch and stone. Days passed without word between fox and deer. Phyllis grew lonelier than she had ever felt. Her den was full, but her heart was empty. One night she heard a strange sound of wheezing breath just outside her den. She rushed out to find Daria, trembling and weak, half buried in the snow. Without hesitation, Phyllis dragged her inside, curled around her, and stayed that way all night. Spring came slowly. The snow melted and green returned to the forest. Daria recovered, though her legs were weak for some time. Phyllis never left her side. The day Daria stood on her own again, they walked together to the meadow. The robin they had once saved now flew above them, singing. I was wrong, Phyllis said. So was I, Daria replied. But we found the truth together. They never spoke of distrust again. And so, in that forest of whispering trees, the fox and the deer, so different in nature, became more than companions. They became balance. One's caution tempered the other's kindness. One's cleverness protected the other's heart. They proved that trust, though fragile, can be repaired, and that friendship, once formed, can grow stronger than even the tallest oak. If you're still awake, thank you for joining me in tonight's story. I hope the tale brought a sense of